those strangers that you got coming in there, they're going to turn against you. If you letting them preach the word to you, they're going to turn on you. They're not supposed to give you the word, man. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, again, as far as the Gentile churches, there's a lot of good brothers out here. There's a lot of Gentiles that are preaching the word, but they're preaching to their people. We're the light of the world. We're the light of the world. Oracle was given to Israel and no other. No other. So now let's go ahead and I'm going to start talking about the pedigree of the Father. Now we got some things straight. We're going to talk about the pedigree of the Father. And again, we're going to break the E1B1A down in a scholastic standpoint where an average person can understand. What does the E stand for? What does the 1 stand for? What does the B stand for? What does the 1A stand for? Okay, this is important, folks. Right here, this is where I want your undivided attention. Okay, E1B1A. So I did my paternal haplogroup, and for those of you saying, "Oh, that's Esau science," well, brother, if you were out in the world. If you were out in the world and if a female got pregnant before she was put on child support, they will make your black behind go and take a paternal haplogroup test. I'm talking for that guy in the back right now. That guy that's with this camp doctrine is saying that's Esau science. Oh, you took Esau science before. Stop lying. You know Esau science. You had to take Esau's tests, according to what you're saying. Before that child support is made an order, you took a paternal test which showed your black behind E1B1A, and it had another number on it, like, for example, J138. But that little black baby of yours had E1B1A, J139. He was one mutation off of it. Like the Maury Povich show said, you were that baby's pappy. That's you. That's the same test I'm telling you right now 23andMe could do for you. And it can be reversed all the way back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And you know what? If my brother, you say that's Gad, he would have the same thing, E1B1A, because the Y chromosome of the male never changed. What's so hard about that? Honestly, I think some of you brothers will bring somebody in outside the nation. Ain't nothing new. You bring somebody in outside the nation to marry a stranger, and then all of a sudden you thinking you're marrying Israel. You're not. We got you. We understand what you're doing. Okay? All right. So now, I'm going to talk about the E1B1A, and then we're going to see where our brother Esau, he's going to have one mutation. And why did Esau get E1B1B? Well, because there's a little something that happened where he sold his birthright. That's right. He sold his birthright. All right. He became last and Jacob became first. Those that are last shall become first. It's even happening to this day. All right. So again, that is how Israel became E1B1A. Esau is the progenitor of that nation that the Most High called Edom. And in the end time, you need to know who's Edom and who's true Jacob. Now, we already know the Ashkenazis over in our land of Israel are not. That's why they go to the maternal. And when I was in the military, I was stationed over in Israel. So I know what I'm talking about. All right. I know. I dealt with the IDF. And 95% of them was calling themselves Ashkenazi Jews. With a haplogroup, I did the haplogroup. The haplogroup is a J and most of them a K. Where do you have the haplogroup of E? They don't. They can't. Even in Genesis 10 verse 2 will tell you Ashkenaz descended from who? Japheth. In order to be a Jew from Judah, you have to descend from Shem. So what they doing, they were playing with the names. They're changing the names. They cannot prove themselves that they are from E1B1A. That's the paternal side. So they stick with the maternal side. That's what the Ashkenazi Jews do. The Ashkenazi Jews will utilize the maternal side. You got nothing against these people. They know their end. They know their beginning. They know they're in their heaven. They know where the hell is going to be. Okay? Because we know what the Bible says, the first shall be last and the last shall be first. Folks, let me tell you something. Excuse me. Let me tell you something. The ones who control this world today, are, and I'm not being anti-Semitic, because you got to be from Shem to be against somebody to be Semitic. So I'm talking about the Japhetic. Now, if you say I'm anti-Japhetic, oh, well, yeah. Well, nonetheless, the Ashkenazi is from Japheth, sons of Gomer, Genesis 10, verse 2. Okay? They're not from Shem, so let's scratch out me being anti-Semitic. I'm not being anti-Semitic. I'm talking about those people who call themselves Jews but do not have a linkage to the E1B1A family. Because E1B1A is not going to be shared. The Most High protected that bloodline. Only a Negro can have it. You will never see a Caucasian. You'll never see a Chinese. You'll never see an Indian with E1B1A. Why? Because we're the called out people, and we're protected by the Most High. And we're hidden. Hidden for how long, Mr. Graham? Mr. Judah? You're hidden for a season and for a time such as this. So you can find your people. Find them, man. Find your people. Check the blood. Follow the blood of the Most High Yahshua. He's the one who gave the blood. He's the one who died on the tree for us. His blood. That's why they hate us. They hate us because of our blood. Man, boy, you got to get it, Israel. You got to get it. So I'm going to give you a simple chart. This is on my Facebook page, the E1B. And this is going to show the importance of knowing who you are and knowing who to hook up with in these end days. Now, remember, Abraham here, I'll try to be still as I can. Abraham would be the E1. Okay? Abraham had two sons. He had Ishmael, which is even today, an Ishmaelite's going to have the E1A. So again, this Israelite did not make this up. The Ashkenazis knew this, and they was telling you, but they didn't figure that you were going to research this, and they may change it later on. But right now, this is the time where the truth is being revealed. An Ishmaelite, even today, is going to have an E1A and some other numbers behind it. Here is Isaac. Anybody that descended from Isaac, and this is where, right here, folks, this is where I am tearing up your trash chart right here. I know I'm from Judah, but if I'm from Judah, and you say you're from Judah, you're going to have the same paternal haplogroup. And it's going to start with this, E1B1, E1B. Well, let's go down. This is the mother, Rebecca, and let's go down to the children that she had. She had two twin boys. And who are the boys? One of them, matter of fact, these knucklehead boys are fighting in the womb. I don't mean no disrespect. Y'all forgive me if it was any disrespect. But the Esau and Jacob was fighting in the womb. This man, this young baby boy, was holding on to the ankles of this one. Now, this is Jacob, later changed to Israel. This is Esau. Later, he's the progenitor of the nation of Edom. The Bible says when Yahshua come back, he says, Idumea. Esau hates Jacob, folks. Esau has a never-ending hatred to Jacob. Why? One of the reasons because that he sold his birthright. He felt that he was a trick. Jacob's known as a trickster. What is Jacob's blood haplogroup, and what does it mean? You got the E1B1. If the A means that you're first, but wait, Esau came in first. Why is Esau B and not A? It's because he sold his birthright. Now Jacob is becoming A. This isn't a Hebrew Israelite chart. The Ashkenazis know this. E1B1B, he's second now. Esau, the progenitor of the nation of Edom. Edom hates Jacob. Edom has a never-ending hatred to Jacob. Now let's talk about Jacob's name, who was later changed to Israel. He had these boys. Gad, remember that 12 tribe chart these guys are putting out? And let's see if there's science, if they have science back it. This isn't Esau science. You just check your blood. You should have the same Y chromosome. It does not change for thousands and thousands of years. E1B, if you check them Native American haplogroup, it is not going to be in the E1 family. It is not. A lot of them are going to be in the J, European. Some of them are going to be in the X, the Mongolians. So there's no connection to the paternal side. The Most High God only dealt with paternal, the daddy, the pappy. He didn't deal with the mama, the daddy. E1B1A. Gad, Asher, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah. That's us. Judah was the one who was remaining when Yahshua walked the earth. Yahshua said he come from the descendant of David, the Lion of Yahudah, the Lion of Judah. Issachar. My brother saying that the Mexicans are Issachar. Issachar's haplogroup is European. The paternal side is European. None of them, except the ones who were taken by ships, which is Judah. They got to Mexico first. Zebulun, Joseph, Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali. All of them should have E1B1A. Now let's talk about the brothers, your brother, E1B1B, who's going to stick to you like white on grits. He hates you. He delights in your fall. He delights in your suffering. He owns the banks. You need a loan, you got bad credit, he's going to send you to one of his shops, his payday cash loan. He's owned by, and most of them are just fortunate. I'm just going to call it like it is. Most of them are Ashkenazi Jews. I have nothing against the Ashkenazi Jew. I'm just pointing out that's their religion. That's the people, that's what they call themselves. You like your jewelry. Who owns the jewelry store? Most of them is going to be your Ashkenazi Jews. A great portion of your Ashkenazi Jews is going to have what? E1B1B. That's Esau. Did not Obadiah 1 verse 2 reminded you that Esau is going to be made small amongst the nations? Oh, folks, this is undisputed information. I don't care what camp you with. It should make you start asking questions to your leaders. And if your leaders don't got, some of them, they're not going to, I'm just calling it, there's no way in the world they're going to say I was wrong. Because then they would have to let some of the leaders they got inside their camp, they have to let them go because they know the scriptures. You're not supposed to teach an Israelite. You got to teach the Gentiles. We know what the Bible says about mamzers. We know that some of y'all married some of the people that's not Israel. So this is the problem that you have, and that's the problem that they created. Now they can't even make it up. They can't even make up from the wrong. And some of them don't have no pride. Nonetheless, I still love my brothers. I still love them, brother. We're scattered, man. We're scattered. That's all. We just scattered. We'll come together. We'll come together. I love you, Zeals. I love my ISUPK guys. I love there's other guys. But these guys know that scriptures. It's just one thing I just don't agree with, and that's their chart. It's leading people astray. It's leading people astray. So I'm not saying this in hatred. No, man. I don't got nothing against no camps. I think I told one of my brothers I was on a debate with. He was with ISUPK. These guys really know this stuff, and I give them honor. I respect them. Again, I came in through the faith by listening to a person on the street down in Florida from ISUPK, and it made me think, and it made me go back every Shabbat and listen to these guys chopping it up on the street corners. So I give give honor to him, and I give the Most High praises for him. But it's just this chart, gentlemen. This chart got to be relooked at. Perhaps there's no pride in your leaders to take a look at the blood, not the chart, man. Take a look at the blood, not the chart. This is the charge I got to keep. This is the charge I got to keep. Now listen, I'm going to talk about one specific nation, and that's the nation of Edom. That's the nation of Edom. There's a lot of things that need to be shown with the Edomites and some of the powerful positions they run. For an example, we know the media. If you're media, most of our conglomerate of the media is going to be owned by who? The Ashkenazis. Now you see this right here. You see this Paramount? That's a picture of Mount Seir. These are the places where our brother dwelt. He dwelt in the high places, folks. Esau dwelt in even to this day. Now I lived in Miami in the Sunny Isle area, and I was in a condo building, and I think I was the only Negro in the whole entire building. All right, everybody in there was Ashkenazi Jews from Ukraine, from the land of Gog and Magog. That every last one of them. They live in the high places. You can offer them 20 acres and a nice ranch home. They'll say, no, just give me that condo that's stacked up. It's in their blood. There's a little joke there, but it's in their blood to live in high places. That's where that's where their granddad is from. High places. So I just want to throw this one little thing here out to you. And remember, Esau hates you. Brother, sister, Esau hates you. It is no secret. He can't stand you. He cannot stand you. All right? Give me 1 second there. Let's find this one particular video. And forgive my rant, but these things has to be said. We're scattered. My people are scattered to the four corners. Scattered to the four corners. And someone asked me, I get a lot of comments on a daily basis. Well, brother, then where are the 12 tribes at? It's a good question. Good question. I want you to do some research and see if these people, I'm just going to give you some examples. One guy asked me today, well, why do you think Gad isn't the American Indian? Well, one of the characteristics of Gad was that Gad would overcome the troop. Now, if the Indians were Gad, where did they overcome the troop at? Because I really believe those northern tribes are still in the land of what we call Africa today. Simply because that is where the majority of your E1B1A is located at. Okay? The other people was taken by ships. The rest of them most likely would be Judah. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, those, I'm just going to call it like it is. I'll give you an example. We had a debate with a brother today, and we were talking about the Rwandan genocide. The Rwandan genocide, where the Hutsis and the Tutsis was fighting. 1994, I was still in the military at the time. And these individuals, the Hutsis was killing up some Tutsis. But I've actually always thought that was because that the Tutsis were the Israelites. No. The Tutsis were, if you look at their paternal haplogroup today, and look at the history of the Belgians when they left Belgium and gave the country over to the light-skinned people. The one with the paternal haplogroup E1B1B, Esau. The Belgians left the country into the hands of the Tutsis. But them dark-skinned brothers, the Tutsis had their feet on their neck for years. They got enough of it. So they overthrew the Tutsi-ran government. In addition to that, at the same time, in South Africa, the brothers and the Zulus overthrew the who? the apartheid-based country of South Africa. Same year, almost the same time, and guess what? They all have the same characteristically biblically. So if I had to take a guess, now I want to assume if anybody that's going to be Gad, I would say that's Gad who overcame the truth, not the American Indian who doesn't have the same blood. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, man, I tell you, I'm sorry to rant, folks, but you need to know these things. A couple more scriptures I want to talk about, and I'm going to let it go because I'm over my time. We're going to talk about, this is Second Timothy. We're going to go on, the 1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 4. It says, to devote thyself into myths and endless genealogies. You got to understand, that is not talking about DNA. Again, I wanted to run that home. So the Camp Brothers love to say this particular chapter, that is not talking about the pedigree of your father. It's talking about the location of Ephesus, close to Greek. The Greek people that who believed in Greek genealogies, that you came from the goddess of Zeus, and that's goes on and so forth. Okay, that is the precept that I wanted to make sure that you don't try to come back and defute this biblical and scientifically sound teaching. Okay, couple more things I wanted to mention is in 2nd Ezra 6 verse 9. 2nd Ezra 6 verse 9. Around for you can see it. All right, so this is what it says, folks. All right, verse 9. Here we go. Beginning of it to follow. Okay, it says, let me read it all. Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other by me. Also they shall be ended, and by none other. Then answered I said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Oh, when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that follow? All right. It's basically telling you, folks, and I have my glasses off, so forgive me. I can really, I can't read. Glasses off. But it's basically telling you that Jacob will be the beginning. These are the end of the times. Jacob will be the beginning, and Esau will be the end of the world. So we got a bright future. All right. And so I want everybody to be encouraged. I'm running over my time. I'm just about out of time. I want everybody to be encouraged. And I want us to find our people, because there are a lot of people that really have a lot of answers, man. There are a lot of Gentiles that actually love the people of the Most High. They love the people of the Most High. Many have fought for you. They're blessed. Some of them are blessed to this day. So I had a conversation. I'm gonna get off this subject real quick, but I had a conversation with one of my white friends, and when he told me, and he said, "Hey, listen, my family has never owned slaves." You know what? I believe him. Never owned slaves. So I'm not going to vex somebody because of their skin color, because not all white folks are Esau. They're Gentiles. Esau is the one that hates you. I was looking at the our first lady. I'm sorry, our vice president, the newly elected vice president yesterday. Remember, I told you Esau is gonna be right on your. He's gonna be on you like white on rice. And I saw her walking down the hallway in her ceremonial dress, and I saw her holding her husband's hand. Her husband is Ashkenazi. All right, I'm telling you, there are some. Folks, understand. what's going on. You know who you are. Even the Gentiles feel the shift. I remember last year in Charlottesville, Virginia, when the KKK and the neo-Nazis was protesting and with tiki torches. Their chant, I want you to think of this and I'm going to go. Their chant was said to be, Jews will not replace us. After the second Ezra 6 verse 9. Esau is the end and Jacob is the beginning. But these people said, Jews will not replace us. Jews will not replace us. Even your Caucasian brothers are starting to feel the shift. A lot of them love you. A lot of them, most of my Caucasian friends, man, they'll give you the shirt off your back. They'll give you more and quicker than a brother would. I can tell you that now. They'll treat you more kinder than most of your own people will. All right. So not all of them hate you. They love most of them. I know that will give you the shirt off the back. So don't have hatred toward the white brother and the white sister. They've been bamboozled too. They have. They really have. They really have. They've been tricked and bamboozled like the rest of us. So, folks, I just want you to be encouraged. I want you to be encouraged, and if you have any questions, there's some comments. Leave your email. If anybody, I know I probably pissed off some of my camp brothers, but leave your email there, and I'll be sure to get back with you. But in the meantime, it's a charge to keep I have, a God to glorify. Hallelujah. Yes. Let's find our people. Let's find the right people. Wake them up. Bring them out these churches. These songs got us through this 400 years. We're in a new dispensation of time right now. These songs got our people through. Some of you might not like it. I don't care. These songs got our people through. Let's find our people.